I would like to call this Tribal Council meeting for Monday, May 15th, 2023 to order. Melvina, would you give invocation, please?
Bear with me. Erode galante hesi uljili heli gandeski atino. Nimna detostan heldi do hesta hando gilostane ha new deski atni do hest. New iske only do hest yuktanke ha. Father, we just thank you for this day. We just thank you for all your blessings. Lord, I just ask you be with each and every one in here. Lord, did you know, Lord, that you are guide and that you will guide us in our decision making in the betterment of Cherokee Nation. Lord, in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Gail, would you do roll call, please?
Keith Austin.
Here.
Danny Callison.
Here.
Julia Coates.
Here.
Sean Crittenden.
Here.
Joe Deere.
Here.
Mike Dobbins.
Here.
Rex Jordan. Johnny Kidwell.
Here.
Daryl Legg.
Here.
Wes Snowfire. Dora Paskowski.
Here.
Joshua Sam.
Here.
Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Mavina Shotpouch. E.O. Smith. Condessa Teehee. Victoria Vasquez. Have a quorum.
You've had a chance to look over the minutes from our previous meetings. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. First of all, it's a good crowd. I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. It's good to see all of your faces. It makes our hearts warm when we see you out there in the crowd, especially those in the red there. Yeah, don't be turning around looking. You know what we're talking about. All right, first of all, we're going to start off with our State of the Nation address with Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin, Jr.
Well, Mr. Speaker, members of the council, it's an honor, of course, to be able to present to you at the May regular council meeting on the state of the Cherokee Nation. Since we last gathered, we announced the economic impact of the Cherokee Nation, and many of you were able to attend the event that we had at the University of Tulsa. All of you, of course, are a part of, along with our businesses and everyone that really contributes at the Cherokee Nation, to the number. And the number is more than $3 billion annually in terms of economic impact. The Deputy Chief and I have talked a lot about that number. It's such a large number, sometimes difficult to sort of wrap our minds around the impact, but when you think about the jobs, over 14,000 men and women today working for the Cherokee Nation, I think it's just as important. Over 19,000 jobs supported by the Cherokee Nation. That's small businesses and other businesses throughout the region. And then, of course, when we travel in your districts and we see the good that you all are doing and that local communities are doing, often with Cherokee Nation resources, we know that that is all part of the larger investment that we're making at the Cherokee Nation. Specifically with respect to our businesses, though, we continue to see the businesses grow. I mean, that's why we've seen the dividend triple in the last 4 years, which means that all of the revenue that we need to increase our programs have become available. We want to see the businesses continue to grow so that we can continue to increase funding for programs and services. But most importantly, all of that contributes to the economic picture across the Cherokee Nation, which is, yes, we do have some more work to do. But I think these numbers show that we're making a great deal of progress throughout the reservation. I think that's something that we can all be proud of, and I think it's a message that we need to continually send to the state of Oklahoma and to our friends and neighbors to remind them of the great contribution that the Cherokee Nation makes. On the subject of program and services, I appreciate the feedback we've received on the proposal to increase this college scholarship. That will come to you in the form of a budget measure, which will increase us from 2,000 to 2,250 beginning in the fall, and then in the second year, the full 2,500. So we're increasing the scholarship. Certainly that's one of the best investments we can make, and we appreciate the support of the council as that comes before you later in the month. Just a few days ago, we made an announcement that is reflective of what members of the council have asked us to do, which is to see what we can do to contribute even more to public safety across the Cherokee Nation Reservation. Of course, the occasion was one of our favorite annual events, which is the Firefighters Banquet, in which we provide funding to rural fire departments, $3,500 per department. But on that occasion, we announced the Public Safety Partners Grant, up to $50,000 for really every public safety agency. We're talking about EMS, we're talking about E911, emergency management, county sheriff's office, municipal police departments. There's a real opportunity here, and also for fire departments. There's a real opportunity here with some needs that the departments have identified, that you all have identified, whether it's capital needs or equipment needs. Again, this is one-time funding, but we think it can make a real difference out in our communities, particularly when the past few years have been very challenging for some of these agencies, whether it's a changing jurisdictional landscape, whether it's budget issues, whether it's really responding to and recovering from the pandemic. We know that it's been difficult for these agencies. We also know that when they struggle, we all struggle, and when they succeed, we all succeed. So with that in mind, these funds should help, I think, a great deal. We recently opened a couple of new community buildings, and I have to say it was wonderful to see particularly the community organizations that will manage these buildings talk about their ideas. So we were in Dewey, Councilor Patskowski, what a wonderful event we had in Dewey with Cherokee Cultural Community, the building that was refurbished into what is, I think, going to be a very important asset for the Cherokee people in that part of the Cherokee Nation. A wonderful event. And Mr. Speaker, we recently visited Kansas, where a building that we built in the midst of the pandemic to serve response purposes now is serving a long-term community use, with the Cherokee Organization of Kansas taking on that. We may also, Mr. Speaker, co-locate a program in that building. So it'll be, I think, an important part of the community, not just from a community organizing standpoint, but also Cherokee Nation programs and services in the future. We recently broke ground in Stillwell on 15 homes named after a very special person, S. Joe Crittenden. We broke ground on the Crittenden Edition. That'll be 15 homes in Stillwell. We broke ground on another housing addition in Salisaw. And before that, we broke ground on an addition for 12 homes in Muskogee. We continue to look for opportunities to invest the dollars that this council made available in the Housing, Jobs, and Sustainable Communities Act. And that is on top of some other efforts that the Housing Authority has undertaken to create more low-income rental units. So I think we're turning a real corner on housing, Mr. Speaker, and it's good to see those efforts and the efforts of this council bear fruit out in the communities. We'll continue to update you as we identify more opportunities for that sort of investment. The new history course is out in the communities, or at least it's being scheduled. The first event will be in Veneta. People can go to visitcherokeenation.com and find out information about these history courses. No matter where we go, locally or at large, there is a hunger, a desire for more programming along the lines of history and culture, and this is one way we can meet those requests, and I think in a way that'll really help the whole community, because we all need to, of course, celebrate our history and culture, and this is one way to do it. So I applaud Cherokee Nation Businesses Cultural Tourism for taking on this opportunity to bring a history course out to the communities. Catherine Foreman Gray, of course, who you all know, has been working and instrumental in developing the course. It was Missing and Murdered, or it is Missing and Murdered Indigenous Peoples Month, which we have commemorated here at the Cherokee Nation. And if you see out in the lobby, Mr. Speaker, we have some red dresses to help focus us on what this month means. And of course, in addition to the symbolism that is very important with respect to those dresses, there's a great deal of efforts that this council has undertaken in recent years to make sure that we do more to protect the victims and reach out to the victims and help solve some of these crimes. So I'm proud of this council, and I appreciated bearing witness to some of the efforts that you all have undertaken to put more dollars into law enforcement, our prosecutor's office, our victim services protection unit. Our government relations team, of course, engages on these sorts of issues. I'm proud of our marshal service, proud of our prosecutor's office and the attorney general's office. So I think we are doing a great deal in terms of substance to address this issue, but spending this month remembering those who we've lost, those whose cases are unsolved, and why we're here, which is because there was a real grassroots effort in this country and in Indian country to raise awareness of this issue. And I certainly be the first to admit that it took that effort to bring it to my attention. And I think a great many leaders have tried to catch up with this tremendous grassroots effort. I think at the Cherokee Nation, we're doing just that. Recently visited Councilor Callison's district in Salina to look at some infrastructure upgrades, $1 million. Councilor Callison in the Salina community is going to be good. What'll be even better is Thursday when we break ground on the new health center. So there's a great deal going on in the community of Salina, and we look forward to making a return visit there on Thursday. Medal of Honor winner Dwight Birdwell joined us last week. Mr. Speaker, you were there, a number of others were there, as we unveiled a new marble bench as a tribute to his service to the country, and it's of course on display out by the Warriors Memorial. One of the highlights of the day for the Deputy Chief and I, two highlights. One is we visited with our patient benefits coordinators today. That is a position that I wish more Cherokee citizens knew about, because these folks working in our health system generate so much opportunity for Cherokee citizens to connect with health insurance, but also generate a great deal of revenue for the Cherokee Nation health system, meaning all of those dollars from third-party collections from Medicare, Medicaid, Sooner Care, which is Medicaid in the state of Oklahoma, and other insurance providers all go back into the health system. And it's remarkable, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the third-party collections over not just the past few years, but over the decades, it's increased and increased, and it's enabled us to do a great deal of good. When you think about the revenue available for our health system, it's federal funds, which are largely stable over time. It's business revenue, which increases over time, and thank goodness back in 2012, this council put 5% of dividends into contract health, cancer treatments, dentures, and eyeglasses. That number continues to climb, but the number that's climbing exponentially is third-party revenue. The patient benefits coordinators make it happen. And the other highlight of the day was the Deputy Chief and I visited the Speaker's Village just up the road, and second-grade immersion student talked circles around me in Cherokee, as most of them do, but also presented a beautiful drawing about her vision about what the Speaker Village could be if we'll add on to it. And the good news is, Mr. Speaker, we are adding on to it, thanks to this council. That's my report. Widow. And Mr. Speaker, I did want to recognize, and you've already recognized or remember the removal riders, but ask them to come up if that's okay and introduce themselves.
Absolutely, sir. Nice to meet you. Wow, got a big job. You gonna make it? You know, most of it's uphill over there. I think most of it's uphill.
He's killing us.
Yeah, not yet. You'll be saying, God, that guy was right.
Oh, you all still afraid?
Yes. Once again,
Celebrities.
celebs, the local celebs.
We might be past the
Yeah,
prime.
you can lay it out that way a little bit, then you just start running. We'll give you a little bit.
You got a little bit left.
All right, here, no pressure. You're good. You got yours.
OCO Nagadawu, Samantha Cavan Dagwado, Diukta Jalkiganthi, Aniwaha Digiyawi, Jigadoha, Gali Elgi Naladu, Iagwade Tihanta, Kueo, Digega Skoon, D. Gage Elegay, James Rachel Cavan, Dundo, Dan Disketsti, Digaji Ilasana Anosaho, Tali Digado, Gakil Diski, Wodo. Hello everyone, I'm Samantha Cavan, my Cherokee name is Diukta, and I'm from the Wolf Clan. I'm happy to be here, I'm 18 years old and I'm from Pryor. My parents are James and Rachel Cavan, and I'm a 2023 Memorial Bike Rider. Thank you.
Sio Nagad, Face Springwater, Dawado, Wal, Jalagi Ganti, Aniwaya, Digayawi, Jide Doha, Galialik, Soneledo, Iaguatiadia, Parkhill Janela, Digagasku, Northeastern State University, Digadagwaski, Digayalagi, Stephen and Christy Springwater, Dundo, Alisi, Iduduno, Dennis and Linda Springwater, Dundo, Idondadi Gesti, DGG Elestina, Anoseho, Totli, Diagwati, Gakiladiski, Wado. Hello everyone, my name is Faith Springwater. Wall is my Cherokee name. I'm a part of the Wolf Clan. I'm very happy to be here. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Park Hill. I'm a student at Northeastern State University. My parents are Stephen and Kirsty Springwater. My grandparents are Dennis and Linda Springwater, and I'm a 2023 Remember the Removal bike rider. Thank you.
Osio Nagad, Matty Berry, Dogwado, Awi Jalagi Gunti, Aniwaya Digi Yomi, Jiga Doha, Galia League, Neladu, Iagwadeti Anta, Webbers Falls, Janella, Warner Digega, Connors Diga Delgwaski, Digega Yellinge, Stacy Sydney Dundo, Idonadis Gesti, Digeji Alensana, Anosaho, Totli, Digagwati, Gakulandiski, Wado. Hello everyone, my name is Maddie Berry, always my Cherokee name. I'm part of Wolf Clan and I'm glad to be here. I'm 18 years old, I live in Webbers Falls, Warner is where I'm from. I go to school at Connors State. My parents are Stacy and Sydney and I am a Remember the Removal bike rider. Thank you.
Siona God, Kinsey Snell Dogwado, Anoli Jalagi Gunti, Anawaya Digiowi, Jigadoha Galia League, Soneladu Iagode Tiad, Awana Yasti Janelle Digega Sku, Juskogali Disoya Digadelgwaski, Digiga Yeligate Jerry and Lonnie Snell Dundo, Alisi Adu Duno Jerry and Cheryl Snell Dundo, Idan Dadis Gesti Digiji Alestana, Anoseho Tatli, Digagwati Gakiladiski, Wado. Hi everyone, my name is Kinsey Snell. Anoli is my Cherokee name. I'm also a part of the Wolf Clan. I'm 19 years old and I'm very happy to be here with you all today. I'm from Park Hill and I currently still live in Park Hill. I'm a senior at Fort Gibson High School. My parents are Jerry and Lonnie Snell and my grandparents are Jerry and Cheryl Snell. I'm a 2023 Remember the Removal bike rider. Thank you.
Osio Nagad, Libby Nugent Dogwado, Galvaniski, Jalagi Gandhi, Anigilohi, Digiowi, Gige Doha, Gali Iliga, Noxco, Yagwati Yoda, Duso Janelle, Janihu Sadid Gig, Edud, Elisi, David Maxi Nugent Dundo, Elisi, Pauline Rattling Gord Scott Dundo, Digigayu Lige, Bobby Glenda Nugent Dundo, Dueji Hannah Lawson Dundo, Navy Agios Dola, Idonde Isgesti Digeji Lastana, Anoseho, Tatli, Digagwati, Gaki Ladiski, Wado. Hello everyone, my name is Libby Nugent. Galvaniski is my Cherokee name. I'm a member of the Long-Haired Clan and I am very happy to be here today. I'm 40 years old. I'm from Muskogee, but I'm originally from Lost City. My grandparents are Dave and Maxine Nugent and Pauline Rattling Scott. My parents are Bobby and Glenda Nugent and my children are Hannah and Lawson. I'm a Navy veteran and I'm so excited and proud to say that I am a 2023 Remember the Removal bike rider.
Man, how can I top that one? Siona God, Amaya Bearpadawado, Amaya Ijul, Yoneg Jalagat, Jigadoha Galia League, Aniwaya Digiyomi, Talsko Tal Iawade Tied, Talakwa Janelle, Tlaka Digega, Northeastern State University, Digadela Guast, Gota Awajeli, Ichoda Dudont, Edgy Amy Rivas Dudont, Edo Jared Bearpaw Dudont. Idondadis Gesti, Digeji Alesana, Anoseho, Totli, Digagwati, Gakiladiski, Iskiatadas, Igiili LGC, Wado. Hello everyone, my name is Amaya Bearpaw and I'm very happy to be here tonight. I am 22 years old, I'm from the Wolf Clan also. I go to school at Northeastern State University. My mother is Amy Rivas and my father is Jared Bearpaw and my grounds is the Chota Grounds. I live here in Tahlequah and I'm from Jay. And I am also proud to say that I am a 2023 Remember the Removal bike rider, Widow, and we appreciate y'all listening to us tonight.
Man, there's so many good things to be thankful for in the Cherokee Nation. And our leadership is strong. Our nation is a direct reflection of that. And our young ladies that just talked, I sit around and watch everybody just sitting there smiling. I mean, that's how much you bring into a room. Gosh, you've got a monumental thing that you're fixing to do, and you have all our respect. And thank you so much for being here and letting us honor you. So let's give them one more round of applause. All right, next, another part of our meetings that bring us a lot of joy and honor is our Cherokee Warrior Veterans Awards. So Deputy Warner, if you'd step up, and Secretary Crittenden, let's get her started.
All right, well, Siona God, it's good to see everyone here today, and Honorable Council. Before we get started today, I just was thinking about the Chief's State of the Nation address, what these ladies brought forth, but it's truly an honor and always a privilege to be here with everybody to honor our veterans, because everything that we see and we get to do today is because somebody fought bravely, with valor, with courage, with integrity, and it's so important. And this, last week, Chief touched on it about Dwight Birdwell, our Medal of Honor recipient. So I would like to give just a short piece of time, if it's okay to the council, to let our Secretary of Veterans Affairs just tell us a little bit more intimately about that visit. Okay. Yep. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, this is from the hip, if you will, or from the top of my head, but I want to tell you, the effort started about mid-year last year, and we had the support of our chief. We had Kim Teehee, the delegate for Congress, and a lot of other people trying to get the medal bestowed on a true warrior, a hero. One of us from Adair County, just south of Stillwell, where he grew up, a very humble guy. And he don't like to make waves or anything. But I tell you, when the times was tough and people's lives were at stake, he stepped up. And he's one of 3 Cherokee citizens that I have record of that earned the Congressional Medal of Honor. There's many Cherokees through the years have served in all combats and since the beginning. And they've all done their jobs, and they've all earned medals. But very few earn the Congressional Medal of Honor, and a lot of them are awarded posthumously, meaning that the veteran that served was killed in action. How wonderful it is to actually see someone that's alive, and and I've known that gentleman for 60 years, and good friend of the family, and just a good all-around fella. And I know some of you have met him. For those that haven't, maybe you will. He's one of a kind, and it was an honor to be there. I'm glad my brother was real close to him. And Dwight sent me a text this morning. I think he wouldn't care for me sharing this, and he thanked us for the deal on Friday, Chief, and what took place. And he told me, he said, I wish Larry was there. But it was an honor. It was a blessing to him, and blessing to all of us. And I thank you, Chief, and admin, and everybody that had a hand in it, council, deputy. It meant a lot to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Let's give him a round of applause, please. You think of, if you've been around Mr. Birdwell in the few short times that I have, humble comes to mind, humility, and it's something that's a virtue that we could use more of today in today's time. So, well, we're here to honor 3 veterans, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we will first start out, and we will need, this one will come out of the at-large district, so we'll ask Councilor Kidwell and Councilor Coates to join us. But our first Medal of Patriotism Cherokee Warrior Award goes to Roberta Christine Sweet. Ms. Sweet entered the United States Army on November 20th of 2001. Ms. Sweet completed basic combat training and advanced individual training, then was taken to her first duty station in Fort Hood, Texas. Ms. Sweet was assigned to the 1st Cavalry Division, 4th Brigade Combat Team, 1st Battalion, 227 Aviation Regiment, They were attached to the 11th Aviation Regiment out of Germany for the start of Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Ms. Sweet crossed the Kuwait and Iraq border on March 23rd of 2002. Ms. Sweet and her company had the first prisoners of war of the campaign when their AH-64D was shot down. Ms. Sweet was honorably discharged September of 2007. Medals of Achievement: Army Achievement Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expedition Medal, Global War on Terrorism Medal, and the Iraq Campaign Medal. Ms. Sweet, on behalf of a grateful nation, we are so glad that you're home, and we are so happy to see you here tonight. But thank you for your service to not just this nation, but our entire country. Any words?
I'm humbled by just receiving this honor. I'm proud to know that my heritage is of the Cherokee Nation, and I've been doing a lot of research, and that's why I decided to apply for citizenship. I've met a lot of people through this journey, and I'm hoping to meet even more and become more a part of this community.
All right, our second Cherokee Warrior Award for the Medal of Patriotism goes to Aaron Michael Dunlap. Mr. Dunlap entered the United States Army September of 2005. Mr. Dunlap served as an 88M, a motor transport operator, while stationed at Fort Riley in Kansas. Mr. Dunlap deployed and was stationed in Baghdad, Iraq, where from February 2007 through May of 2008. Mr. Dunlap served in Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. Mr. Dunlap returned and discharged from the Army. Mr. Dunlap served with the National Guard from March of 2009 to March of 2011. Mr. Dunlap was honorably discharged on March of 2009. Army Commendation Medals of Service: Army Commendation Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, Overseas Service Ribbon, Army Service Ribbon. Mr. Dunlap, on behalf of a grateful nation, sir, we thank you for your service to our country. I've got three council, Dr. Candessa Teehee, Councilman Jordan, and Councilman No Fire.
Three, two, one. Oh, sorry. If you have any family members you'd like to join?
Family?
You got a cheering section right
Yeah.
This is my son, my aunt, and my uncle.
Thank you for your service, sir.
All right, now. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you. Any words? We will need District 8, Mr. Sean Crittenden, for this next one. Our third Medal of Patriotism Cherokee Warrior Award goes to Ronald Lewis Rhodes. Mr. Rhodes joined the United States Army on August 5th of 1969. Mr. Rhodes completed basic training in Fort Polk in Louisiana. Mr. Rhodes served in Vietnam from September 1 of 1970 through July 29, 1971, with the 525th Military Group as a 71 B-20 clerk. Mr. Rhodes was honorably discharged on July 29th of 1971 with the rank of Special 5th Class. Mr. Rhodes also served 6 years in the Air National Guard in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with the 219th Engineering Installation Squadron. Medals of service include the National Defense Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal, the Vietnam Campaign Medal. Mr. Rhodes, on behalf of a grateful nation, sir, we're thankful for your service.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Now, do you have any family members?
Would you like to say anything?
Well, yes. Oh, thank you for this honor. I appreciate it very much. I knew Dwight Birdwell myself. He graduated a year behind me in high school. It was a pleasure to know him. I thank you. Proud of my Cherokee heritage. I'm proud to have served in the military, and I'm proud to have been an American. Thank you.
Amen. Mr. Speaker, members of the council, that concludes our Cherokee Warrior Awards. And again, just thank you to all our military men and women in active service, and just so very thankful for all of our veterans. Let's give them all one more round of applause, please.
Thank you, Deputy. All right, next up, action of unfinished business. There's none pending. Committee reports. Our monthly report from Cherokee Nation Businesses, LLC, CEO Chuck Garrett. Come on down.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Council. Always a pleasure to be here representing the almost 9,500 men and women working hard on our behalf at Cherokee Nation Businesses. It's been an exciting month. As I reported to you all at the Executive and Finance Committee earlier this month, and as you saw in our report that's been submitted, we are on a tear financially. We are setting some records that we are so proud of, and it really goes back to the people that I just named, the 9,500 men and women that come to work every day, focused, ready to roll their sleeves up and do the work on behalf of your businesses. And so we're super proud, and thank you, Chief, for mentioning tripling of the dividend, which obviously is something of great pride for us. Additionally, in addition to our dividends, we occasionally get to provide some sponsorships for various community activities, and of course our men and women also volunteer their free time to many of our different events around the reservation. You saw them at the Strawberry Festival Saturday. A great float. Should have been the winner. Another subject, but it was so fun. It was great for the community engagement and the kids out there, and seeing what they could be too. We have professionals at Cherokee Nation Businesses that were those kids at various times. I know Councilor Crittenden was there. I've been there as a kid. So to see Cherokee Nation Businesses and Cherokee Nation represented there is a source of great pride. I was also proud the other day, I had the opportunity to stand with Principal Chief Hoskin and Deputy Warner as we gave a $75,000 contribution to the Oklahoma Alzheimer's Association. I know many of you all have been directly impacted by Alzheimer's. I certainly have been. So it's a great source of pride for all of us to be contributing to a solution, a cure. And there really is, there are treatments and cures around the corner. And so that gives all of us hope for if you've seen the devastation of that disease, it's awful. And so hopefully we'll be part of the solution there. I did have some cultural events that I wanted to bring to your attention. I apologize for referring to my notes, but there are so many I can't keep them all in my head. One shout out to a property before I get to the cultural things. The West Siloam Casino has opened up a new Greatest Hits Lounge. And if you've been there, some of you I know have, what we've done is taken some of the most popular machines in any of our casinos and put them in one area. It's become a very dynamic area that has been well received by the customers. And we did a ribbon cutting there just recently with the local Chamber of Commerce. So a lot of excitement around that for the employees at West Siloam, but also our guests. The 52nd annual Trail of Tears art show has ended. Mr. Roy Boney won the grand prize. It's the longest running Native American juried art show in competition in Oklahoma. And it has had another successful year. The works displayed included 137 works from 92 artists representing 19 tribal nations. And so, Councilor Vasquez, you know that show very well, and it's something that if you didn't get a chance to go to this year, certainly highly suggest it for next year. It's a wonderful event, and you see some really incredible works of art. Also wanted to mention that we have a new exhibit exploring Cherokee basket weaving at the Saline Courthouse Museum. National treasure Anna Sixkiller is sharing her knowledge and skills as a traditional basket weaver in a new exhibit at the Saline Courthouse Museum. Anna Sixkiller, The Language of Reeds, runs through mid-July. It allows the visitors to discover how Ms. Sixkiller first learned to gather natural materials, process them, and weave them into beautiful and utilitarian works of art. So I hope you get a chance to go out and check out that exhibit. Our cultural tourism team works extremely hard with our museums, with our different events, such as the Strawberry Festival, but many, many others, and they do just an amazing job. So get out there and enjoy their hard work, and it's something to be very proud of. So be happy to answer any questions, Mr. Speaker, you or others might have.
Any questions on my left or right? That's a great job. It's a great report. A lot of good things happening at CMB, and we appreciate your vision and your leadership, sir.
Well, it's my pleasure. It's the power of purpose. So thank you.
Okay, up next, old business, none pending. Under new business, out of the Rules Committee, number one, Councilman Jordan, would you take that, please?
Yes, this is a resolution approving a letter of credit agreement and granting a limited consent to be sued. Put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Number two, out of Executive and Finance, Councilman Austin, would you take that, please?
Thank you. Yes, this is an act amending Legislative Act 29-22, authorizing the comprehensive capital budget for fiscal year 2023, Mod 6, and declaring an emergency. I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, also out of Executive and Finance, Councilman Sam, would you take that, please?
Yes, sir. This is an act amending Legislative Act number 30-22, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2023, Mod 7, and declaring an emergency. I put this in form of a motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Are there any announcements to my right? Councilman Callison.
Yes, Speaker. I'd like to congratulate the Locust Grove Middle School for being national champions in their archery program.
Wow.
They went to Lexington, Kentucky this weekend and came back national champions. So congratulations to Coach Brad Cowan, Coach Ladney Keener, and Coach Lindsey Keener that take care of this program, and it was a great feat. So thank you.
Wow. Keith.
Yes, I'd like to honor the memory of Miss Winifred Dudley, who was known as Freddie. She passed the last few weeks. She, at the tender age of 100, many of you will remember we honored her last year as a Cherokee Warrior. And if you met her, you remember her and you loved her. And she passed as a great hero to our country, and very proud to call her a friend. So please lift up her family as they are dealing with saying goodbye to Miss Winifred Dudley.
Thanks, sir. Councilman Deere.
Just want to announce, starting tomorrow, Special Olympics, the state event starts tomorrow in Stillwater. As you guys know, we recently talked about public safety, and law enforcement all across Oklahoma shows up to do their torch run. So, and we have many people across the 14 counties that are involved in Special Olympics, and Cherokee Nation does donate every year, so I'm proud to be a part of that. But I was going to say, if you guys got a chance to make a trip down there to watch these kids participate, it is really a great event, and just wanted to welcome everybody to come down to Stillwater and support these kids. So, thank you, Chair.
Thanks, sir. Councilman Crittenden.
Sir, if you remember these families in your prayers, Peavine, Elder, Butch Swepston, Haskell Brown, that's the father of Pam Sellers, Election Commission, Laura Soap, that was the daughter of Garland Eagle, former deputy, Lou Ann Collins, just a staple in the Fairfield area, and just like all of these people all around, good folks, and a lifelong friend of my dad and lots of people in Adair County. His name was Billy George Sonny, if you'll remember those family members. Thank you.
Councilman Petskowski.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I would like to honor Mr. Frank Longley. He was an Army veteran of World War II, and he was a recipient of the Medal of Patriotism. Thank you.
Anybody to my left? Wes?
Doug Thompson just passed away today on Lake Tenkiller in a boating accident. So just be prayers with his family as a fisherman, and everyone in the community knew him. And so it's kind of one of those freak things that happen. So just be prayers for his family. Just remind everybody, life jackets, safety cords, make sure your kill switch is on. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Did you have your hand raised? Dr. Teehee.
Yes, I also echo Councilor Crittenden in offering condolences to the family of Mr. Haskell Brown. He was not a Cherokee citizen, but had a Cherokee family who will miss him very dearly. 95-year-old Air Force veteran. And I would also like to ask that we lift the family of Emily Raper as well in prayer. A fluent speaker, someone who I always admired her strength and her unfailing honesty, and she will be deeply missed by many.
Anybody else? Okay, there's a lot to be thankful for in life, and even after life is over, there's a lot of things to be thankful for about what people brought into our lives and brought in our communities. So thank you all for honoring those fallen. Okay, that concludes our meeting for today. I would like to thank everybody for being here. It's a good day. Anytime you get to honor our vets, and then the bike riders were here, so it's just very uplifting to hear our young people speaking Cherokee so well. It's just an honor to honor them today. So we got a motion? And we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?